Hello. Today we're going to go over the SIGNL4 app and some of the basic functionality of the app. You'll see here that I have up on screen the default page of the SIGNL4 app. And if I take a look at this first box up here, we'll see that my user and my status, which at this time is on duty, as well as what time my duty starts for my upcoming schedule shifts under every team that I'm a part of. So we see here that I have both the Jedi Masters and the Superheroes team, and I am currently on duty, but I'm logged in without the use of the schedule at this time. And we'll see that my next scheduled duty starts at both 12 p.m. for the Jedi Masters and 11:30 for the Superheroes team. In addition to this, if I go ahead and swipe to the right, we'll have a list of my next duties for all the teams that I'm a member of. And for this current time, I'm a member of the two teams, and I have 2 shifts showing per team. Next up, if we scroll down, we'll have this signals tile of the app. And in this tile, we show by default all the signals that have come in the last 24 hours. In addition to the number of alerts that have come in, we also see what team and category that these alerts came into. In this instance, we had 2 alerts come in. One of them has gone to the Superheroes team in the database category, and the other has gone to the Jedi Masters team under the IT category. Now, if a new alert comes in, we'll actually see these numbers increase. So now we see that our new alert came in, so we now have 3 alerts that have come in the last 24 hours, and we have 1 set to the new status, and we'll see that the Jedi Masters IT category has increased in numbers too. So in addition to this, if we swipe to the right, this will actually show you all of the alerts that have come in since I've been on duty for this team. And if I scroll over to the right one more time, we'll see any alerts that have come in under the Superheroes. And we'll see that there are 0 alerts here for the off duty because the last alert came in while I was on duty, and I'm currently off duty for the superhero team. So we don't show a number there. Now if I scroll back over to the left, now I have a couple options here to actually view the alert. I can click on the big 3 in the center, or the new number 1 off to the right, or I can click on one of the categories below to actually see the alert. So let me go ahead and click on the big 3 in the center, and this is going to pick up all of the alerts that have come in under the last 24 hours. So what I can do here is I can quickly click on the question mark to acknowledge the alert, and if I open up the alert, I can also click on the question mark, which is now replaced with my image at the top of this alert under the details as well. Now if I scroll down a little bit, we'll actually see a timeline of the alert. We see that when it was raised and then it was acknowledged, and if I add an annotation in here and send that annotation, that actually shows under the timeline as well. Now let's say that I've gone ahead and solved it, so if I go ahead and click on my picture at the top, I can actually go ahead and close this alert, and we'll see that the color changes and we get a new event added to the timeline at the bottom. Now we also have the options to reopen an alert. Then you can just hold down on the picture for a second and it'll flash, and then you'll actually see that it reopens and we get a new event down there. In addition to that, we can also remove the acknowledgement. So if I hold down on the picture again, it'll actually remove the acknowledgement, and we'll see that event show up in the summary at the bottom, as well as my image goes away from the question mark circle at the top. Now if I head back, we'll see that it shows as unacknowledged in this list again. And if I go back to here, we'll actually show that it's still set as a new status. And if I click on the new button and acknowledge it again, and then go back to the summary screen, we'll actually see the counts update, and I no longer have anything in new, but I do have 1 in acknowledged. After that tile, we have the next tile, which is the on duty for your teams. So we'll see here that I have on duty for my team, and we'll see both myself and Patrick as being on duty for the Jedi Masters team. Now if I scroll over, I'll actually see the next team which has the on duty, and that is the Superheroes team, and only Patrick is on duty. In addition to this, let's say we need to contact somebody from that team. You can go ahead and click on the 3-dot menu on the right for this tile, and that'll open up the contacts for every user that is in this team, whether they're on duty or not. And if I click on one of the users, I'll actually get the option to contact them via phone, SMS, or email in a quickly manner, so I can contact that user and we can work through a problem together. Next below, we have the manual signals option, and you can send a manual signals to all of your teams or to one particular team if you would like to send a manual signal out. We also have a couple options. We have the option of sending just a regular manual signal, a location signal, which is going to include a location pin for the signal that you sent, and an emergency signal, which will send out an alert and bypass the standard categories and send an emergency and maybe override your silent if you have that turned on. Now let's go into the settings for the app. So first off, we have our profile, and if I click on the profile, this allows you to add a picture for your user, as well as where you're going to validate your phone number to be able to receive phone calls and or text messages. Next, let me back out of that and go under the signaling section. Now this section allows your users to input how they want to be alerted on a user basis. Now these are simple sliders, and you can change the time limit that you wish to be called all the way up to 20 minutes for any one of these notification channels. In addition, you can actually turn the notification channel completely off by scrolling all the way to the left. So you can actually just have your text message and voice calls turned off and only be notified by push. And you can actually do the same thing if you turn on phone calls and turn off push. Next up, we have the persistent signaling, and the selection here allows you to choose which one of your 3 notification channels you want to use for persistent notifications. Do you always want to be called when you're trying to be woken up in the middle of the night to make sure that you hear it? Do you want a push notification, or do you want a text message? This allows your user to choose which notification channel they're most likely to wake up from and set that in the app. Next, we have the option to set the sound for your push notification. So right now, you'll see that I have one of the SIGNL4 sounds of the Army wake-up call being chosen for my push notification, so it's nice and loud and has a good chance of waking me up in the middle of the night when it comes through. Next, we have the option to override the volume. This simply allows you to make sure that the volume is always set to whatever volume we select here, no matter what the phone volume is set to. Next up, we have the override do not disturb. This allows you to override the do not disturb settings on your phone, so if any alerts come through, you'll still be alerted, and even if your phone's on do not disturb in the middle of the night or for whichever reason you may be out somewhere, you'll still get those alerts for emergency notifications. Next, we have the services and systems, and this allows you to change and or edit the categories for a particular team. So you'll see that we have all of our categories listed for my superheroes team, and one of the options here is you can actually silent a category so that if any alert comes through that category, you'll still get the push notification, but it won't put any volume to it. You can also completely turn it off. This means you won't get any alerts for that category at all. They won't show up as a push notification, and they won't show up on the counter on the home page of the app. Next up, we have our team options. Our team options allow you to actually edit the name of your team and or add a picture for that team if you don't want to use the default background picture for your team. Next up, towards the bottom, we have the settings page, and this allows you to show the help text for the app settings. It allows you to give a brief description of all of the settings inside the app. Next one is on a manual signal, we automatically have it turned on to translate the location. So that adds a location pin to the signal so you can always know where the manual signal was sent from. And then the next one down there is the play action sound effects. This allows you to play the sound effects when you're actually in the mobile app and working through it. When you switch pages or click on the close an alert, it has a tiny little sound effect that allows you to let you know that you did an option. And the same thing with the haptic feedback is just a little vibration whenever you use a menu option inside the app. And you could turn those off if you would rather not have those. And then finally at the bottom we have the About option. And clicking on the About option actually gives you the mobile version app if you have any issues with it, and the option to follow us on our Twitter account. And then the very, very bottom is just a logout page. So this is just a quick tutorial of the SIGNL4 mobile app, and I hope it allows you to better navigate and function through the app and see some of the surprises that we have in the app that you might not have known about. Thank you, and have a nice day. Goodbye.